So I thought I would get with you all tonight and talk to you a little bit, see what's up, what's on the ups. I hope and I pray that every one of you little maniacs prospers and moves forward and all of your motherfucking dreams come true in this world. You hear me? I'm saying? But the only third person that's going to make it happen is you. And the best thing that you can do in this world is to make, for everyone around you, is to make the most of yourself. But yeah, I picked up some kind of like a mid-sized four-wheeler. And then I went down the road and picked up a golf cart. So I'm thinking about building a gas-powered golf cart to Robcast around on. That might be a little YouTube project there. I'm thinking about it. It just depends how feasible it may be. Also, I picked up, a pressure washer, but it has a Honda GX200 horizontal shaft motor on it. So I may adapt that to fit the golf cart and then have that's right, 212cc golf cart. Be cool, creep around. But yeah, Celebrity Big Brother Robcast, we'll be doing that tomorrow night after Big Brother airs, so we'll see what the first episode is all about. As far as other Robcasting goes, I'll get back with you guys. Look, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write out a schedule, because I didn't realize that I had this many podcasts out there, this many Robcasts out there. And so in order for me to keep up with it, in order for me to bring you all a continual show regularly, I'll start trying to go ahead and do this, Tuesday and Thursday of every week, or at least one day every week, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's costing you whenever I don't, because I miss out on what's going on in y'all's lives. People sending me emails, let me know what's happening there and going on in this world. So follow the show, download the Spreaker Podcast app, and definitely, man, explore Spreaker Podcast, because it's motherfucking awesome. There's all kinds, okay? And there's all new genres of podcasting going on. There's one that I need to crank off, and I'll probably wait until after Celebrity Big Brother, but I wrote a novella. I wrote a novella called Dirt Bikeology 101. Dirt Bikeology 101 it's a story, okay? And it's maybe about dirt biking. However, I'm thinking what I should do with it is probably read it. What I'll do is I'll read what I've written, and I'm going to bring it to you all as a Robcast, as a podcast, as a Robcast. So maybe look forward to Dirt Bikeology 101. Maybe look forward to Robcast TV. Definitely please share my GoFundMe, man. I appreciate the fuck out of that. And if you're a hot single female, send me an email at radiorobcast@gmail.com. radiorobcast@gmail.com. That's where you can correspond with the show. That's where you can tell me a good joke, give it about your day, or that's where you could actually be on the show yourself. Hey, Flipper, myself, we're going to return all emails, especially if you got big titties, baby. But seriously, rocking and rolling. Let me see what else we've got going on here. Make sure I don't have any other big brain busters for you all. But you know what? If you need something to kind of lift you up, or to kind of go like, look, man, I don't know how to explain other than Tony Robbins 100 years before his time. But if you pick up a book, just go to Amazon and pick up this book called pick up The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, Wattles. If you've never heard of him, believe that, man. You read it one time, it's going to trip you out a little bit. Read it 2 or 3 times, and it could be a guide to help you kind of, have you ever thought, man, I wish that there was some sort of a owner's manual for life? Well, this gentleman, I think he had this figured out. Wallace had things figured out way better than I did. And I think they're talking about perception and reality, and what you see around you is that for me, thinking for so long and thinking that you see everything and you just take for granted, I have to tell myself, I have to just throw my hands up there and say, look, man, I don't fucking see everything around me. And I do rely a lot on my instincts and my intuition and just how I feel whenever I look somebody in the face, eye to eye. If they look like a creepy motherfucker, 9 times out of 10, if something strikes you or gives you a chill or whatever that they're a creepy motherfucker, guess what? They're probably a creepy motherfucker. Don't let them in your house. Don't let them fucking babysit your kid. You have them on the motherfucking nanny cam shaking the shit out of one of your babies. You don't need that shit. But yeah, definitely Wallace Waddles, from being like 100 years ago and right on the motherfucking money and these things that you can apply to your life right now every day to day. I would recommend that you get that. And if you want to just listen to me read it, you can listen. You can go to the Rich Little Poor Kid podcast right here at Spreaker Podcast. And that's where I go through some of the signs of getting rich. But yeah, it's something that I go through and I read through that I have for the past 10 years. And it was probably one of the turning points in my life whenever I realized that something that you put into your brain can actually change your life. But the book I'm looking at here is called The Science of Wallace Waddles, and it's the science of getting rich, the science of being well, and the science of being great, which the other two, being well and being great, I haven't read, unfortunately. But I have not had this particular book for 10 years. I just bought it after the flood. I had the original 100-year-old book before, and it's also on audiobooks. It's free on audiobooks, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddles. Check it out. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna fuck with any kind of religion that you are. If you're Hindu or Christian or Buddhist or whatever, it's gonna go right along with that as a guide to actually putting dollar bills in your pocket. So speaking of putting dollar bills in your pocket, I've got to do that. I've got to get up early in the morning. I've got a 4-wheeler to finish rebuilding. I have got some security work to do tomorrow. And, I've got to put some brakes on the little 4-wheel drive of my pop's car. I bought front brake pads for it when I first got it for him. And I put the ones, my brother and I put the brakes on the rear, and guess what? We did not put them on the far front. I don't know why I bought them. I just didn't put them on there. I guess it's hard to get Pops to slow down the car long enough. He's 75 years old. He runs the roads more than I ever had. It's hard to get him to stop the damn thing long enough. But again, after the flood, having to replace all vehicles and everything like that, it's a blessing that he gets to run the roads. And speaking of running the roads, oh, y'all little maniacs, be safe. Man, don't drink and drive. Oh. God damn it, I say that. And I know motherfuckers have been drinking and driving since we were in high school. I'm surprised you dirty bastards aren't dead yet. Or you hadn't killed somebody else. You think, I don't know. But I think if they listen to the show, they know. But yeah, just from the flood to this flood, I'm not talking about the flood a year and a half ago, the flood a few months ago. I was telling my neighbor across the street today I get deja vu because we were flooded out 14 months before this flood. So I was telling him, man, I feel like I rebuilt things all one way, and I'll completely rebuild everything a different way. And it's amazing. But yes, just to let y'all know, it's not like every day, I've had a plan in order to build the studio. But the first plan, the studio that we were in, was a 25-foot travel trailer. And we weren't able to get it out here before the flood, so it also flooded out with everything to the studio in it. My pop's truck, it flooded. Um, I ride my motorcycle, so I rode it in the fucking hurricane to my brother's house, like 30 miles away, and sideways winds and shit. It was crazy. But the point is, I got it the fuck out of here. So then I bought Pops. He had a truck. It went under in the flood. So I got my Pops a truck. Then I decided I couldn't get the title to it, so I said, look, I'll keep it. It's a Ford Explorer XLT all electric, 2-door Sport Edition 4.0, rock and roll. I'll keep it. I'll drive it. I'm not a big car driver, but I thought it's nice enough. It's something that I would take someone out on a date in or whatever. So cool. I put it up at my brother's barn. So then we had to go find Pops a vehicle because I didn't think I could get paperwork on that. So when we found my Pops a vehicle to drive, a little 4-wheel drive, a little SUV 4-door. Perfect. He loves it. Drives the shit out of it. It's not like we bought him a new car. I went and bought him one that needed some work, and I did the work to it ourselves. My brother and myself, we fixed it up. It's rock and roll. Put new tires. Put the little whatever codes. It needed a throttle, a crankshaft position sensor, and it needed a radiator core. A heater core. Anyway, stuff like that. We got it fixed up. It's rocking and rolling. So the point is that, yeah, the studio gone completely now. Actually, I was going to try to just, remodel it, and there's no remodeling it. It's going to get torn down, the travel trailer that was the studio. Everything in it gone. The point that I'm trying to make is, look, the only reason that I don't talk about this, as I was telling our producer a minute ago, is because, fuck, man, it's hard to talk about. B, people want to hear don't really want to hear that shit, but I think that it might help other people who have lost everything. You know what I'm saying? That it does get better. We will move forward. We will proceed, and we will make something happen. And so then, like my nephew, he inherited a truck from his grandfather, and it has real low miles on it, but it's set for a long time. So, and stuff is always breaking on that thing. So I just ended up telling my brother the other day, I said, look, man, if nephew wants the Explorer, it's a fucking 30,000 mile Explorer, why don't we just give it to him? And I'll just ride my motorcycle. I'm not really a big car guy anyway. And normally the girls that I date have a nice car. They know that I ride a motorcycle. And it would be nice. If it was up to me, it'd have just like a 1982 a little 400 series Mercedes with the hard top that comes off. Nothing expensive, man. That's a $5,000 car. Maybe $12,000 car. I'd be happy. But I am happy riding my motorcycle. So I said, look, let nephew have the Explorer. We'll get on down the road. Everything, there's always enough room around the trough for everyone. It's the only way that we're going to move forward. It's if it helps other people too. Because the flip side of that coin is motherfuckers that are constantly trying to impose their will on people, and we don't have time for that, man. It's a fuck up situation if you are trying to impose your will on anyone, or if anyone else is forcing their will on you, because it's not, man, that's not how life is. And I was at the point a week or two ago where I was like, man, maybe 3 weeks ago, like it's so much work. Then you get everything done to the point to where you're like, that little piece of trim right there, fuck it. The ceiling that I needed to paint in that one room, it's gonna just have to wait, because it's working 15, 20 hours a day to get your house done, and then moving back home. And I came here and stayed I didn't even have the electricity turned off for a day or two because I was working on that. I'm fucking camping out up in this bitch. But it was a blast, and we're blessed that we're back. And then we're blessed that we also own the land that we're on. Or I mean, we'll say almost paid for. Don't count your chickens until they hatch, right? Uh, but definitely the best.